Hi everybody, glad to see that we've got some people attending today. That's awesome. I'm hoping maybe my little enticer there that we're going to be doing coaching, that's coming up soon. We're looking at some value adding in particular to our membership, and we're looking at, we'll do once a month, we'll do this Q&C meeting where we'll go through the standards, and then once a month we'll also do a coaching call, and this is more around the business side of your organisation and how I can help you with your business side. One of my biggest passions about what I do and working with you guys in setting up registered training organisations is working with entrepreneurs. I love working with entrepreneurs, and the fact that I get to talk to you about your business and your growth and your ideas and your vision and where you want to go. I love hearing about that. And what I really, really do love is the fact that I can give you feedback and give you ideas and different ways that you can go in your business and how you can improve it. One of my biggest passions is coaching businesses and coaching how I can help you. And when I first set up Vivacity RTO Coaching and Consulting, our focus was we don't just consult you, we coach you and coach you on how to be successful in your business. And that's really important to me, is we want all of you to be successful in what you do in your business, and however we can do that. And our big focus this year, we're doing a major shift in how we're working with our clients this year. I'm turning it around a bit, so it is a lot of the coaching side and how we can help build your business. And that's the reason why we've put together a conference where it's compliance plus business, because RTO world is not just about compliance. It's a small component, really. It's something we have to do to be a registered training organisation, but it's the quality of our success and what you do in your business. Like, I really see that in the training industry, we change lives through education. And one of the things that we've changed the purpose of our organisation this year to helping training organisations achieve excellence. And that's what I want to do. And as a team, we want to do that. We want to help you achieve excellence across everything, not just compliance, but how can you market better? How can you sell better? How can you build your business? How can you meet the needs of industry and have a successful training organisation? And my goal is that every single one of our clients is a successful RTO, and how I can do that is through this coaching side as well. So we're going to quickly go through the standards, our standard format, but then I would like to do some coaching with you as well and look at, and I'd love it if you've got some questions. Look, we've only got 3 of you online, three people online. So if you're online, great, I can coach, I can spend a bit of time with you guys each, so be prepared with the questions. So I'm going to go through this quickly, the slides that we've got now, but be prepared. If you've got an issue, a concern, or anything you'd like any help with across anything in your business, so be it compliance or business or marketing or sales, and I'll do my best to answer your question and how I can help you. I'm doing a coaching program at the moment. It's a very similar format, and that's where we've come up with this idea, is this format of being able to coach you. So, and through this, I'm finding it very valuable. I'm so excited about the future, what's going to come next. So anyway, we'll flip through these, and I'm not restricted to an hour. I can stay on a bit longer. So if we've got any questions, I'd love to go through those. So anyway, we'll go through these. I've got Sarah said hi. I just want to just check in that the other 2, that you can hear me okay, that you can see everything okay. If you can just say a hi, that would be great in the chat section. Yep, great. Thanks, Ben. Awesome. Helen, yep, awesome. Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, so the standards this month are really, really simple ones. They're really, really easy. We do a lot of this for you. The hardest one is 1.26 and 1.27, which is transitioning from superseded training packages. But until that happens, there's not much work you've got to do. You basically just got to follow our policies and procedures and you'll be right. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time on 1.26 and 1.27. 8.5 and 8.6 is all about legislation and complying with the legislation. Now, we provide you with all the policies and procedures for the legislation, so all we need is you to follow those policies and procedures and you'll be compliant. That's the reason why I thought I'm going to throw a coaching session in here and just give it a trial with you guys, because you're my little guinea pigs for today. I'm going to trial this coaching side on you. I'm so excited about it because it's something I want to do. Okay, so as per usual, this forms part of your continuous improvement process, so you should be holding a monthly meeting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you're going with the monthly meeting as well. And following this webinar, you should hold that meeting and minute that meeting that you've actually gone through these standards. And if you go through the standards, if you find any opportunity improvements from this, you should go into the do an opportunity for improvement form following that. So that's just our standard stuff here. Okay, so as I said, 1.26 and 1.27 is about transition of superseded training products. Now, what happens here is the government love to change the goalposts. So we have a constant change of the goalposts by the government where they'll change the training package. And actually, training packages would change about once every 3 years. That's about the average. Some take longer, some are shorter. We just had a change in the TAE training package, as you may have heard. So Cert 4 training assessment just changed recently from 2010, I think, training package, and now to 2016. So we're actually going to have a look at that today. And the new qualification, and that's the one I decided I would use today to look at superseded training packages. So the standard actually says that you have to transition across within a 12-month time period. That's actually just been extended. It's now a 2-year time period that you have to transition from a superseded training package to a new training package. The legislation still says 1 year, but there's been a ASPA directive that's been placed on the website that you now have 2 years to transition across. So what that means is if a qualification supersedes, you have to transition your students across to the new qualification within a 2-year period. With the TAE, the one we're going to look at today, they're actually saying you'll have to transition from that one still within the 12-month period. So any trainer or assessor will have to upgrade to the new qualification within the next 12 months. I'll have a look at the qual today and I'll explain to you what the difference is there. I thought that was the perfect one for us to review today. Okay, so it's really the short of it is we transition within 12 months. And you should have a clear process for that, which we do. We have a really good policy and procedure there on how to transition across. So if your qualification supersedes, you should look at the policy and procedure because it tells you exactly what you should do. Basically, you minute it at a meeting. Actually, I'll get to that. I've got them on here. And that your new students, if any new students aren't enrolled into the superseded training package. And that means on your scope of registration, if it says it's superseded, you can't enrol them. If it says it's current, you can enrol them. So you need to go onto your registration on training.gov.au and look up, is it current on your scope? As soon as it's superseded, you need to actually transition across to the new training package. So basically our procedure for transitioning is that you should map the old qualification to the new qualification. You should also review your training and assessment tools to make sure that they map across to the new one, and you do that within that 12-month time period. So, what the best way to do it is to transition the units across slowly over the year as you go along. You need to make sure that the necessary changes. So you'll find that some units, sometimes it might be minor changes in the unit that has changed, or it might be that there's new units in the qualification and you now need to teach out, transition and teach out to the new qual. You need to complete an assessment validation schedule, so go in and actually review what the new units are and write a new assessment validation schedule with those new units and how you will validate those assessment tools in a 5-year period and identifying what are the high-risk units. You need to update your tasks with the new requirements of the training of the units of competencies in a new qualification. So you've got to put the new code in. If there's a new qualification title, you've got to put that in there as well. And what are the new units? And you should also undertake some industry consultation against the new qualification. You should complete a change of scope application sometimes. You may or may not. More often than not, it will just transition across to the new qualification on your scope of registration, but if it's not a direct equivalent, so an example we had of that is when childcare changed over in 2013, I think it was, the old qualification was not a direct equivalent, so everybody who had childcare on their scope had to actually do an additional scope for the new qualification to place it on their scope. That's very rare when that happens. Majority of the time it's going to be, it'll be an automatic rollover, and there are direct equivalents, but the childcare qualification went through a major change, so everybody had to add that to their scope. I think with the TAE, the new one, they actually have to add that one. Oh, no, because it wasn't, there was only a couple of extra units added, so they didn't have to transition across that, so that's fine. Okay, and then once the training product has been added to your scope of registration, then you have to wait until the new qualifications come onto your scope. That's if you have to add it before you can transition the students across to the new training product. And you need to ensure that you've got assessment tools and all your marketing materials being updated, and you have all the correct course codes, qualification codes, unit codes and titles within all your materials. And that you should and update the TAS and send that out to all your staff. And during the 12-month transition period, the CEO will review, they should review the status of existing participants, and you should transition all the students across. So once you get commenced the students, I've actually got a little graph here that we can look at. If you've already commenced the students, you can transition across or just teach out what you've got now, the students in the class right now, teach them out in the qualification that they're in, but you can't take any new students on the old qualification. Now, there are little things that you can do if you, like particularly if it's right on the change of qualification, if you take on a student after the transition of the qualification, just pre-enroll them to the date before the transition, because it can be difficult at the time when it actually changes. So there's little things that you can do just to get the students in to transition across. Most students, and I know I'd want the most current qualification. So depending on what you want to do, you might want to put them into the new qual. One of the things I used to do when I had my RTO is I actually used to transition them across straight away. So as soon as a new qual came on the scope, if it wasn't very difficult and if there was some direct equivalence in the units, I would start transitioning across straight away, because as I said, I would want the new qual, and my students would want that too. But the policy is that you'll take the 12 months. Okay. And if they haven't completed within 12 months, then you transition them across to the new qualification on your scope of registration. And that also, so when you transition across, and if you're transitioning across from the superseded qual to the new one, so they've completed some units in the old qual, and then you're going to transition into the new qual, you actually need to issue them with the statement of attainment for the units that they completed in the old one to then bring them across to the new one. So these are students who are currently enrolled. If they're brand new, you don't have to worry about that. But if they're currently enrolled, transition across to the new qual, issue them a statement of attainment for all the units that they've completed, and then put them into the new qual. All learners will have to be completed and been issued a certificate within 2 years. Learners should be, yep, we've done that. Yep, okay. So you've done all that. So this sort of gives you an idea of a timeline of a student. So it might be that you've got a student who was enrolled, and then there was a change in training package following the enroll. And I'm going to see if I can draw on the screen here. Don't know whether it's going to let me do that. Webinar options. It's going to give me a pen. No, it's my pen. Can I draw? Yep, no drawing. No, doesn't look like I'm going to be able to draw. Okay, all right. So I think you can see my cursor though, so you can see where my cursor is here. So we're going to. This is a 2-year qualification. So the students enrolled 3 months into the training. 3 months into the course, the training product has been superseded. And you've still got another year or 2 to go for the qualification to be completed. Now you can either teach out that student within that 12, so now it's a 2-year period, so you can teach it out. The reason why they change it from 1 year to 2 years is because people will find it really hard to transition students across within the 1 year period. I had no problems, I always could get them transition across easy, but that's why they're now giving you 2 years. So the idea is that you either issue them with a statement of attainment for where they are right now and then transition to the new qualification, or you teach them out in the old qualification before the 2-year transition period. And so within there, so you must transition to the new training product or completed training within that 2-year period. So it's up to you. You need to determine. If you're doing single units, no brainer, easy. You just transition across. So, and that might be a question. If you're doing single units, you'll have to transition across straight away because you can't take new enrolments under the old qual or the old superseded unit. So you'll have to transition across straight away. So, and this process is going to be much quicker, but it's going to be easier. You're going to have to do it much quicker, but it's going to be easier because it's only one unit. The only time it's going to be an issue is if it's not a direct equivalent, or there's components of it where it's a massive change and you're going to have to transition across, get the new assessment tools. It might be a major change. I know with RSA, Responsible Service of Alcohol, quite a few years ago, there was a massive change with the unit of competency and we couldn't deliver. It was when I had my RTO. We couldn't deliver the old one anymore. We had to quickly change over. Now, the thing is, we were already up to speed that it was going to change, and we'd already started doing some industry consultation because you know when it's going to transition because they actually tell you on the Industry Skills Council website, or now the new SSO, that they are doing a transition. And so you start preparing, you should start preparing straight away so that you are ready with the new assessment tools before it actually is superseded. So I know a lot of the RTOs that have TAE on their scope. I was talking to Mark Radcliffe from MR-WED recently, Mr. WED. So Mark Radcliffe is a friend of mine through the industry, and I was having a chat to him about the changeover from the old Cert 4 training assessment to the new one, and he said he's been preparing himself for over a year, getting ready for the transition. So he's been looking at the units and working with the Industry Skills Council to identify what the needs are. And that's the best thing, is get involved with the Industry Skills Council and that transition of the training package. So I'm just going to share my desktop now just to show you a superseded qualification. So this is the Cert 4 training and assessment that we're going to be having a look at. So as you can see, we've got the new TAE 40116. The old one was the TAE 40110. And so what you do is you go, so all I've done is I've gone on to training.gov.au and then looked up the new, you can see I've got the new one on here. So I've done a search on there. Now you can also have a look at your RTO ID and look at your RTO and see your scope of registration, which will tell you what's been superseded and what's current on your site. Now I would expect, because you're all brilliant clients of mine, that you've actually registered on training.gov.au. Is that correct, guys? Let's have a hell yeah. If you've already done that, I'm hoping so. If you haven't, you should be, yep, good, awesome. Ben, that's awesome. If you haven't yet, that's where you sign in here. So you can sign in with your email address and let's see if I know what my password is. So you can sign in here to get updates on training.gov.au. You should, if you haven't yet, you can just register here. Let's see if I know my password. It's been a while since I got on here. No, it's not going to let me on. I'm just wondering if I've already updated it. No, damn it. Anyway, if you register on there, I better fix that. I'm not giving you a good example here, am I? So what you do is you register on here and get your updates. No, it's not going to let me on there. Okay, and then it'll send you emails out to remind you of any changes in qualifications and training packages, and it will send you updates when those things have changed. Okay, so this is TAE. So we're looking at the TAE 10 over to the TE. Now the thing is, you can download the qualification information here, but you can actually, here it actually tells you what's changed. So it's saying here that this has superseded the 410, and basically all that's happened is they've added 2 units to the core, and that's all they've done. They haven't changed Anything else, everything else is the same. So this gives you a snapshot of what's changed. So it makes it nice and easy for you. You just go on there and it will tell you what to do. So basically what's happened here, the TAE LLN 411, that's the LNN unit, the Language Literacy and Numeracy unit. All the TAE RTOs knew that this was happening. A lot of trainers and assessors knew this was happening. Basically, everyone has to do that LNN unit now. That's a core. If you're prepared, we were telling our clients you need to go do the LNN unit as a professional development. So you should have already done it. If you haven't, you now have to transition across. So basically what you've got to do, you've got to make sure that you now hold these 2 units, and then you can get an upgrade to the new TAE for 40116. And I know MR Wed is Mark Radcliffe. He's actually doing this now. He's doing upgrades. So you can actually jump online to Mark Radcliffe. So that's MR Wed that I'm just popping in there. If you go on to MR Wed, they are actually doing a where you can transition across to from the superseded qualification to the new one just by adding these 2 units. The other one is the TAE Assess 502. That's been imported in from the diploma level qualification into this qualification. So that's yes. So I'm just trying to see if I can find it here. No. Haven't even got it. Oh, there it is, 502. Okay, so do you know anyone doing the ESS? Okay, yeah, Emma, they're doing that. Oh, in Newcastle. Who knows? I will look into that for you, Ben, and see if there is someone that's doing that. Now, I know with Mark Radcliffe, you can jump online, and I'm sure he would have an online version, so you can actually transition across online. So I'll just have a look. I'm just having a look at his website. So, because the thing is, you don't. Did you do the? Because if you've done the LNN, you're fine. But it's the TAESS. Yeah, I've done the LNN. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's not. Actually, Mark might come to Newcastle. He comes to Newcastle and delivers training here. So I'm sure if I asked him, he might come out as well. Mark. I think Mark was going to try and get to our conference. It'd be good if he can. Sorry, I've got someone Skyping me now. Slide out. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, check him out and see if he's got any, if he's doing it across. No, it doesn't look like he is. He's got the LNN unit. Yeah, he's not quite there yet. And as I said, you've got a year until you have to actually transition across. So I'll look into that for you, Mark, for you, Ben. I'll check it out with Mark and make sure, see if he's going to come to Newcastle. I'm just writing this down. Newcastle for TAE 16. All right, I'll have a look at that. Okay, so basically you've got to do this one. This is design and develop assessment tools. So one of the things that they identified is that RTOs are not, trainers and assessors don't have a good understanding of their assessment tools. And this is something I'm finding with doing the assessment validation workshop, I'm helping you with that knowledge to be able to improve your knowledge on the assessment tools and having an understanding of what needs to be in your assessment tools. So this is what this unit is about. So you can go in and have a look at the unit and see what's involved with that one. So and that one's come from a superseded one as well by the looks of it. Yeah, okay. So this unit is more how to design and develop assessment tools, but having a better understanding with the assessment tools. Is there any questions there with the transition? If you have any, please ask me how you want to go. But what we'll do is I might do a blog on the transition, and I'll put it on on LinkedIn. I'll put it on my LinkedIn profile. I'll also put it on Facebook as well. So I'll do it just for that TAE. So focus on the TAE and what you need to do to upgrade. I know Mark has been doing some, I strongly recommend you get on LinkedIn and connect with Mark Radcliffe as well, because he does a lot of updates on his LinkedIn profile as well. So you'll be able to find out a bit of information about what's happening with the TAE. I'll find some more information for you and get it back out to you. Okay, so I'll just get back to the slides. And if you've got any questions, just post it. It doesn't look like we do. Okay. All right, so the other two standards is 8.5 and 8.6, which is basically that you need to ensure that you have policies and procedures in place against all the other legislation that you must comply with as an RTO, and that your students and staff are informed of that. We take care of that for you. We've got it. We've got all the standards and all the legislation in there in the Q&C manual, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But what you do need to be concerned about is making sure that you're implementing it and making sure that you're sending out the student handbook. So basically, it's ensuring that the students understand their rights and responsibilities under that legislation. So we have it in the student handbook, and WHS is one of the standards, and that you are updating the policies and procedures regularly. So through membership, you're getting your updated policies and procedures. So no brainer, you don't have to worry about it. We do all the hard work for you and make sure you're kept up to date. So the key legislation is the vet quality framework that they need to know about. There's privacy protection, there's the standards for RTOs, of course, as well, work health and safety, child protection, so we've got policies and procedures in there, working with children check, and the statutory education licence is a new one that we're just releasing in the next version of the Q&C manual, which is coming soon. This is something that's come up at audit. The brilliant thing is these things get picked up at audit and then we're adding them, but we're just doing a full review of all the policies and procedures in the Q&C manual at the moment, to ensure that we're up to date with all the latest legislation. So we do all that for you, so you'll have that all updated for you. Okay, so now I want to open up to some questions. So the first person we had online was Sarah. So Sarah, do you have any questions that you'd like to throw out to the group that I might be able to help you with?
Your line is now unmuted.
I've just unmuted you, Sarah, so go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello? Yep. Hi. I don't really have any questions because I missed half of it.
Any questions at all? Any issues?
Any issues?
Help?
Like we've been going through trying to find assessment tools so we can go to audit. So that's been a bit of a hard one, trying to find the different ones to suit us. But I've found some now. The only thing is with the staff matrix, actually writing that in, how do we go about, you know how you're supposed to write next to them the experience you've had? What do you need to put in there?
Okay, good question. Okay, so when you're writing, so with your staff matrix, you need to map across your skills and experience against the unit of competency. So the best way to do that is to look at the performance criteria of the unit of competency and map across your skills and experience to that performance criteria. So the way you do that is, where did you work? What was your role? What was your responsibilities? And you don't actually map it in there as how did you meet that performance criteria, but what skills and knowledge do you have against that performance criteria? And it can't just be simply, I was the manager at and I supervise staff, if that's not relevant to the unit of competency. So if the performance criteria says that you have to have demonstrated that you have implemented a range of strategies into your organisation, you need to, and it could be in marketing, for example, so a range of marketing strategies into your organisation, you should map your skills and knowledge against that. What did you do? Did you actually implement a range of strategies in marketing in an organisation? And what was your responsibility with that? What exactly did you do? Did you project manage it? Did you work as a team? Did you work as an individual? Did you help your manager? You should put in there exactly what did you do, and what were you involved with the writing of the strategies and things like that. That's the way they want you to answer, is address that, and they want to see, do you actually have, as a trainer assessor, that skills and knowledge to teach this unit?
Your line is now unmuted.
Yeah, no, that gives me a better understanding now.
Awesome. Okay, is that your main question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, Ben, you're next. I'm hoping you've got a question ready. Ben, you can't be unmuted by looks. Have you got a microphone, Ben? If I can't unmute you, if you can just write your question. I can't unmute you. No? Okay, so what we'll do is I'll just switch to Callan, and if Ben, you can get back to me and have a question ready. Callan, no, I can't unmute you either. Why is people not unmuting? Callan, can you hear me? There we go. Callan?
Hey.
Hey. Yes.
The flash player is playing up. That's what's going on. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
What's your issue? How can I help you?
Virtually my main issue at the moment is trying to change the mindsets of students in how to for the certificate 2 in security. It's been delivered for a certificate, a 2-week course for so long, and I'm trying to deliver it by night. It's just sort of a marketing type of question, I think. So
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just finding it hard to change people's mindsets on how to do that, and how to get students enrolled into, say, a night course instead of taking 2 weeks off work.
The 2-week block course.
Yeah, so I was sort of yeah.
Okay, and so your typical target audience, are they currently working during the day?
Yeah, my target audience is working during the day, or the miners that are coming out just about to be made redundant and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, and what are the barriers? What are they saying? What are they saying when they talk about the night course? Are they saying they don't want?
A lot of them don't understand that it can be done this way, because it's been traditionally done as a 2-week block for the last how many years it's been done. They're finding it hard to get their head around it.
Okay, all right. Good marketing strategy I learned recently. You know how you hear about new and improved products? Like people use those words, new and improved?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually not a real thing. New and improved is not a new thing, but this is perfect for what you do. New and improved. A lot of people will buy because of new and improved. I think it might be a good thing for you to do is to market this in a way. This is a new and improved way for us to deliver training to you to meet your needs, where you will be able to actually consume this information and start implementing it through the training. And I'm assuming you're doing it at night time to meet your needs because they're currently working. Is that correct?
Sorry, the mic's sort of dropping in and out there a little bit.
So the way you're delivering it at the moment is to meet the needs of your current target audience.
Yeah, correct.
And so what are they thinking that they... What I'm concerned about is, why do they think they can't come at night time if that's what they need anyway?
I believe it's the whole. I think we've discussed it previously. The whole thing with the New South Wales Police and SLED, and the conditions that they've put on RTOs and delivering. It's never been done this way. That an RTO has never attempted to deliver it part module or part unit per unit.
Yeah. And are these people new entrants to the security industry?
Yes, correct.
So why have they already got this mindset that it's got to be delivered in a certain way if they're new?
A lot of them have looked into it before, and the only block or only roadblock to them enrolling in the course has been the whole taking 2 weeks off work. So that's where they've shelved it straight away and said, "Oh, I can't take 2 weeks off work. Sorry, I can't do. I'm not going to do the course." And there's been no other way of doing it. So this is a different way.
Okay. So you're meeting. So who's got the barrier with it being delivered at night time?
Sorry.
So who is saying that it's no good to deliver this course at night?
No, it's just it's in the student's mindset that they can't do it because it's never been offered this way. The students think that it can't be done. Mm-hmm. They either see it as the RTO trying to do something not the right way, or it's just they're finding it hard to see it in that way, that it can be done that way.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is happening is it's something in your marketing, Callum, and you're not getting the information across to the students the way you're going to be delivering this. I wouldn't mind having a look at your marketing material and see what you've got on there. And I think you need to put something on there about how you're meeting their needs. And I would also put an endorsement about how the training package requirements, and it's actually in line with the special requirements. Put some sort of endorsement on there so that they know that it can be delivered this way.
Okay.
Because obviously, and it depends on what other RTOs they're talking to about this. They might be looking at what other RTOs, how they're setting it up, and they might think that that's the way. And also, they're talking to friends who might have already done security on how they have the course delivered. I certainly need to put it in marketing, endorse that this is the way that SLED want it delivered, that you're meeting the volume of learning requirements, you're meeting the ASCA requirements, but also you're meeting their needs. And the reason why I'd put a focus on your marketing, that the reason why you are delivering in a night course is to meet their needs, and that this is compliant as well. This is going to give them the qualification that they need. It obviously sounds like you need to change their mindset on how this qualification is to be delivered, and just tell them what they need to know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So it's going to be a bigger wheel.
Yeah. And from what I can see, it's not coming across in your marketing that this is the correct way for the course to be delivered, and that it's going to meet their needs.
All right.
Can you get some sort of endorsement from someone as well, from a company, from a security company or something like that you can put on there?
I can try and see what we can do.
Testimonials from previous students?
Okay, yeah.
That's what I would try and do. Testimonials from previous students. Even just find someone that, hey, Ben's online. He said he can write you a letter of support. Ben's from Newcastle too, Callan. I don't know whether you guys have actually met yet. And Ben is from the security industry as well.
Yeah,
I might do an.
It's a very small world.
Yeah. Do you know Ben Jason?
Yes, I do. We've chatted
There you
before.
go. Right, awesome. Okay, so he said he'll do you a letter of support, and he's saying, yes, we know each other. Awesome. Okay, all right, there you go. You've got an endorsement. You do need to change your marketing. You need to educate your market. I'm constantly doing that with my marketing, and the way that I do our marketing is I don't know whether you guys are on my social media, but Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, we're constantly educating our market. So it's educating on different ways that you can be compliant, but it's also educating on how we can get your registration as well. So it is really important. They call it education-based marketing, where you're actually educating them about your industry. Interestingly enough, I was on LinkedIn today, and I don't know whether you've heard of JPR Security. JPR Security did a LinkedIn post today about ASPA changes. Have you heard of JPR Security?
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. I wouldn't say that the most compliant RTO, but they did a post today on changes in legislation with under ASPA. I'm just going to bring it up so you can have a look. Have you connected with them on LinkedIn?
No, I can view their posts though. I do try and keep a tab on what's happening in the Newcastle area with RTOs.
Yeah, okay. I'm just showing you the post now that they put today. So this is education-based marketing, what they've done here. So they're talking about ASPA though, which is not necessarily correct, but they've just done a post in LinkedIn and talked about, and they've just taken information. I do the same thing, taken information from other resources, and I'll put it into a post. I don't know whether you saw my one recently. I did one on the 5 steps to RTO success, and I had one about the top 5 mistakes that RTOs make. So you'll see that. So the top 5 mistakes that RTOs make. This is an ebook that I wrote. This is a brilliant way for marketing as well, as writing an ebook about what you do. And I give this out for free. Have you had access to this?
I do have access to it. I haven't had the nighttime reading done yet. That's all.
It doesn't take very long. It's not a very big book. But yeah, I recommend that you have a read of this one. But you'll see the way that I've written this book. If you look at the back end of the book, I've actually put some marketing information in there. But this is education-based marketing as well. So I'm telling you what are the top 5 mistakes that RTOs are making, and we're the solution to this problem, basically. And this one, I wrote this in a day, this ebook. It's only 15 pages long, but it's great marketing, and it's a very easy way. I give it away free, so you get on our website, you can get it for free. But I got lots of responses, like you can see on here, my post here, 198 views and 18 likes, and I was getting people asking me how much is this book. They loved it so much. But a great way, actually I'm doing a program at the moment called K2 Elite. Kerwin Ray, who's coming. Are you coming to our conference, Callan?
Yes.
Awesome. So Kerwin Ray, who's speaking on the second day, it was at his workshop that I wrote this ebook. He is amazing. I have learnt so much from him, and a lot of what he's teaching me, I'm implementing through my organisation, through Vivacity, to help you guys. So coaching calls is one of them. So yeah, highly recommend if you can get out there and write an ebook, and that's something I'd like to teach you guys as well. But if you come into the conference, he'll be able to teach you a few of those things as well. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Do you feel like I've answered your question?
Yes. It's sort of opened up
Awesome.
a few more for me to chase down, so that's good.
Yeah. The conference is going to be awesome, really good for you, Callum, because that marketing side is some of the skills that you need to learn. We've got heaps of people who are going to be there, is going to be able to help you with that.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. All right. Now I've got a question from Ben. So Ben can't talk. For some reason his computer's not working. or the sound is not working anyway. So Ben's question is, hi, I'm confused around nominal hours on Victorian Purchasing Guide and how that drives the actual course hours. Now, I wouldn't be too concerned about nominal hours, particularly with the Purchasing Guide. That's a guide only. That's it. It's not set in concrete or anything like that. For RSA in particular, you need to be more concerned about what SLED needs you to do and what are the requirements for delivering the course. And I think it's 6 hours still, is that correct? You've got 10. So VPG says RSA has 10 nominal hours, but is delivered as a 6.5-hour course industry-wide. I wouldn't worry about the Victorian Purchasing Guide because that's based on, the Victorian Purchasing Guide is based on how much money will the government pay you to deliver a course. And those nominal hours that they put there is a guide so that the government knows how much they're going to pay. They will only pay up to a 10 for a 10-hour course. Now, when you're going for government funding, you want the hours to be more because you get paid per hour per student. So you always want to go to the maximum hours. But if you're not delivering under government funding, just go with the standard hours. And SLED says, or RSA. So Olga says what the standard hours are for RSA. Just go with that. 6 hours or 6. Is it 6.5 hours now? I thought it was still 6 hours. That makes sense. Awesome. So just, don't worry. That's only a guideline only, that Victorian. And Victoria is the only one now that has the nominal hours set. We still use it, and we only use it as a guide. So when we're writing training assessment strategies, we go to that Victorian Purchasing Guide to have a look at the nominal hours, just as a guide so that we know how many hours to put into a qualification, so per unit. But we don't set it in concrete. We certainly do not use it. We would go, that's it. We can't have any other hours. We have to go with those. We always work within the volume of learning requirements. So if it's a full qual, it's a bit easier when it's a single unit. When it's a full qual, we'll always go within the volume of learning, and that's our guide. It's not the purchasing guide or anything like that. We'll want to make sure that you comply with that. Does that answer your question, Ben? Oh, 6.5 hours includes breaks. Yeah, okay. So, that's cool. Yeah, okay. All right, that's awesome. I answered all your questions. We only had 3 of you on here. Oh, actually, someone else seems to have jumped on. Who else have we got on here? Matt. Oh, hello, Matt. We'll answer your question. Hi, Matt. I'm going to unmute you if I can. You seem to have something that's click to disable there. Okay, you just don't seem to have a mic. Matt, do you have a question you'd like to post? And I'm here to answer your questions. Let's see if Matt's going to ask one. So, Matt, just put it in the chat section if you've got any question, because your microphone's obviously not working, and I'll answer that question for you. He may be there, he may not be there. No, dropped him, lost him. Okay, all right. Unfortunately, we just lost him. Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I hope that helped. Now, I'd love to hear any feedback that you might have on this sort of format. We're looking at doing this format for a full hour. What do you think? Do you think this would be a good method for me to help you with these burning questions that you might have? And post it there. One of the things that I found with my K2 Elite mastermind group that I'm doing, we have a 1 hour, just need prep time for questions. Yeah, I understand that, Ben, totally, and in the future you'll actually know. So what we're looking at doing is having an hour, so you'll be once a month, you'll get an hour for this coaching question. I'm going to try and do it once a week, see what we can do, whether it's me or someone else on the team who can answer your questions live. And what I have found when I do it, I jump online with my coach, it's group coaching. More often than not, a question asked by someone else is relevant to me as well. And when it's not, I just tune out. I just have it going in the background and work on some other things. And if the question is relevant to me, I'll tune into it. If it's not relevant, I'll just be doing other stuff in the background. And I found it's been really, really beneficial. And when I sat in on these coaching calls, I went, oh my God, this is just going to be perfect for our clients. I think it's going to be really good for you guys and in future. So I'm going to let you know if we when we actually have this set up, get this conference out of the way first. going to get the conference out of the way, so I'm looking at planning on getting it started in June. So we'll start sending out a schedule for this coaching call, and we'll do 1 hour coaching calls with you as well. I'm just about to send out, by the end of this week, I'm hoping to send out some feedback on our membership program and some improvements that we want to implement into the membership and how we can help you on an ongoing basis with your membership. Some ideas that I'm looking at implementing. I want to get your feedback on that, and also feedback on how we're going so far and whether we're actually meeting your needs now. I'd love to know what you think, any ideas that you have for improvement. We're just about to launch we're hoping to launch after the conference a new membership platform. You'll still have Unicorn to access with your documents. We're having great problems with getting the previous webinars up for you. So we're going to have a new membership platform that you'll be able to log on to, where all the previous webinars are going to be in there, and you'll be able to access them at any given time, and also documents that you'll be able to access on there as well. So we're going to have that ready to launch in June. So there's lots of exciting things happening in the future with our membership. I'm here to serve you. This is what I see the future of Vivacity, is how we can be here to improve your organisation, to make you successful. And I think the coaching is one way that we can help you in doing that. And I'd love to hear your feedback on that. Thank you very much, guys, for attending. It's been great to actually have a chat to you. Some people I haven't actually heard from for a little while, so it's also awesome to hear from you as well. So thank you very much for attending today. If you've got any questions, post them there. But I look forward to, I'm looking forward to catching up with you at the conference. I think all 3 of you have jumped online today, are coming to the conference. So I'm looking forward to having a cocktail with you at the cocktail function, having a dance hopefully as well. But also seeing you at the conference and having you meet these awesome people that we've got coming along to the conference, because there's some pretty amazing speakers that we've got coming along, and I think it's going to be so awesome for your business and how we can build your business. So thank you very much for attending today. Catch you later, guys. Bye.